Hi guys, welcome to Professor Andrea Proctor's week 2 of our Sociology 100 course. We're in week 2 and there's a couple of objectives and key ideas that I want to go over with you, or what is required for you guys to go over. So this week in week 2 we're going to try to understand the historical process through which human beings came to live within a symbolic world called culture. Okay, so when you think about culture, you also want to think about what necessarily is culture. One thing that I like to inform my students, culture is generally speaking the values, norms, the beliefs, the morals of a society. Okay. Additionally, in this week, we want to apply macro level theological approaches to culture in order to understand ourselves better. We want to analyze popular television programming and see how they reflect the values of U.S. culture. And this is found to be extremely important since we are such a globalized world. It's really interesting to see how U.S. values that are depicted in media can transcend continentally, and so people are able to understand the values of the U.S. culture just from what is being portrayed through media. Also with that, we want to evaluate cultural differences. We want to talk about the two important differences between ethnocentrism and cultural relativism. Okay, so ethnocentrism, when we talk about someone being ethnocentric and they're thinking, that's generally speaking an individual that thinks that the way that their culture does things is the best way for everyone, all right? The way that the norms, the values, the belief in that particular individual is how every individual should live depending on what country they're in or what culture they're in. And that's essentially opposite of cultural relativism. Someone who can experience cultural relativism is an individual that knows that culture depends, it's relative through every single different person's culture. So essentially, they're kind of the opposite of each other. Also, in this week, we're going to create a borders or a broader vision of create a broader vision of U.S. culture by studying the cultural diversity found here, including popular cultures as well as subcultures and intercultural patterns. And then we're going to apply the different ideas of Marx, Weber, and Durkheim to further familiar issues, including the information revolution. And we're going to analyze how the post-industrial society differs from society based on other types of productive technology. And then lastly, we want to create and aware of the benefits and drawbacks of modern society and how to live more effectively in a modern world. So real quick, I just want to recap on the three different perspectives from the three different sociologicalists. Let's see. We want to compare and contrast. This is DQ2 for week. This is DQ2-3 for week 2. So we'll just go give you a brief definition of the compare and contrast of Marx, Weber, and Durkheim. All right. So Karl Marx believed that society is defined essentially by the type of a social conflict. And Marx Weber believed that society is defined by the ideas made of thinking, and that Durkheim believed that society is defined by the types of solidarity. And then also, that being said, I want to go over the DQ question for some of the benefits and challenges of a modern society, comparison to those of a traditional society. So there's several factors that can come into play when you want to compare and contrast between these two. There's some benefits with a modern society. Generally speaking, they have more freedoms than a traditional society. And then a traditional society, usually there's more set values and there's more beliefs. All right, there you go. That's the videos for week 2. If you have any questions or concerns, just email me at aproctor@iau.la. Thanks.